How's it going, guys? Famox here from GameOnYourFace, and as you can see, we don't have the green screen background with me right now. I'm actually staying at a different house, but that's not so important, so let's get right on to the review. Eric Lindros, Joe Sakic.
This video was brought to you by Hot Puck Traders for all your Hot Puck needs.
The rules. I will play both players for 7 games on 100 chemistry lines. They will not be assigned any boosts or captaincy cards. The overall grade will be based on 5 stats: puck skills, skating, shooting, physical, and defensive. His current average price is $180K, putting him in the same price range as Matt Duchene. Puck skills. Gets an 8. Sakic is a great playmaker. He has no problem going tape to tape to create a play or connecting through a crowd of skates in front of the net to set up a goal. However, that's the extent of his puck skills, because his deking ability is second rate. He's quite slow in performing loose puck dekes, making it very easy for your opponent to snatch the puck. Skating. He gets a 6.5. Unlike Doug Gilmour, Sakic's 85 skating stat is more accurate. He's a very sluggish skater, and it's definitely noticeable on the ice. It takes a full 3 to 5 strides for his acceleration to kick in, and even when skating at full speed, he's not very impressive. Shooting. He gets a 7. I was expecting a little more oomph on the stick of Burnaby Joe, but unfortunately he didn't really deliver. His slapshot power and accuracy was disappointing, and though his wrist shot wasn't great either, it was still slightly above average. Don't expect him to be sniping from all angles, but if he's in the right spot and he's got enough time, there's a good chance he'll bury it. Physical. He gets another 7. Sakic is not exactly known for being a crushing hitter. He can knock guys to the ice in the right situation, but don't go headhunting and expect him to break some bones. However, he's no pushover either. He's got pretty good balance, so he can take his fair share of hits before he loses the puck. Defensive. He gets an 8. Sakic's defensive ability was amazing. His poke check was always on point. This made him great at taking away passes and forcing a lot of turnovers. His overall defensive awareness was the best out of any forward I've played so far. He was always in the right position and would never let an opposing pass get through him. The only reason he didn't get a 10 was because he's awful on the draw. He went 25 for 48, giving him a 52% face-off average. Total points. In 7 games, Sakic got 3 goals and 3 assists for a total of 6 points. His overall grade comes to 7.3 out of 10, or 73%. That's a C.
Joe Sakic did not meet my expectations. He was a little too slow, and his shot was underwhelming. That being said, he was a great playmaker, and he was outstanding in the defensive end. But you guys know how this works. I'm not going to give away my final conclusions until we take a look at his opponent, Eric Lindros.
His current average price is $250K, putting him in the same price range as Patrick Kane. Puck skills. He gets a 6.5. Lindros' stick movement was very slow, slower than Sakic. He struggled with basic deking maneuvers. His passing was just about average. As long as you don't try to force the pass through a crowd, he should have no problem hitting the target. Skating. He gets a 6. Skating with Lindros felt like skating in mud. He has little to no acceleration, and his turning is sloppy. Like with most players, Lindros' height plays a part into his slow speed. Coming in at 6'4", I wasn't really surprised with his terrible skating. Shooting. He gets a 5.5. Now this may come as a bit of a shock to a lot of you guys, but for me, Lindros had a terrible shot. Probably the worst I've ever experienced. He would miss the net 60% of the time, and there wasn't much power to his wrist shot. The only way for him to prove effective was to wind up and try to spark a rebound. All of his goals came from wide open one-timers. Physical. He gets a 9.5. This is the best part about Lindros' game. He is a super heavyweight and knows how to throw his body. He has no problem bulldozing through most players. And this is something I've never used in a review, but for Lindros I had to throw it in. He is a great guy to use when you need to drop the gloves. Defensive. He gets another 6.5. Lindros had terrible face-offs. He went 4 for 16 on the draw, so I immediately put him on the wing. But once you do that, he's actually pretty good in the defensive end. His stick was usually spot on. He does have bad discipline, but besides that, his overall defensive play is solid. Total points. In 7 games, he got 4 goals and 5 assists for a total of 9 points. His overall grade is 6.8 out of 10, or 68%. That's a D+.
I really had high hopes for these players. Unfortunately, it did not play out the way I thought. Lindros is extremely slow and has an awful shot. His strength comes from his physicality and his long reach. But when it comes down to it, there are a lot of other players that play the same style as Lindros, in fact do it much better, and cost less coins. One of them being Jamie Benn. Sakic, on the other hand, was a great playmaker and solid in the defensive end, but pretty average everywhere else. I would say he's a lesser version of John Tavares, but again, he goes for twice as many coins. So what's the verdict? If your heart is set on getting one of these guys, then I'd say go for Sakic. But if you can, my suggestion would be avoid both of them. Like I said, there are many current NHL players that outperform them and cost less coins. So that's that, guys. Now it's time to vote. Last time, on my last review, Doug Gilmore review, we put the vote out there, put the poll out there in the description, and it got some great results. I'm really liking this new voting system that we're doing. And it came down to More Legends or Bergeron versus Datsuk, and More Legends took it. So next review, we're going to see Mike Modano. But now, that's already in the works. So now I want you to go back down to that description. Also, I'm going to put the comment in there. Go back to that voting page, and there's a new list of people to vote for. So vote away, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. I'm Famox from GameOnYourFace. See you later.